It's not the first day in your life, not the last. Everything, nothing. All. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Wow, how you doing? Well, boom. Is everything working today? We are live. Holy smokes! I did it again. I'm always surprised, man. I'm always surprised. I click the buttons. I hit all the right buttons and see somehow am I live. So Donald Trump surging. That's what we got to talk about because, hey, listen, this is America based on freedom and democracy and free and fair elections, people speaking, people picking their leadership. And does look like Trump is surging in the polls. Vigramas Swami is now on the record. The great Vigramas Swami, on the record, stumping for Trumping. He's stumping for Trump, right? Vigramas Swami is out there stumping for Trump. We got video evidence of it, right? With he's hugging Trump on stage. Vigramas Swami fully 100% in the pocket with Trump right now. Going out on the campaign trail in New Hampshire, yak. Is Vigramas Swami going to get himself a cabinet position in the Trump administration? Oh, Trump says, I hope he's around. We're going to take him with us. That's what Trump said. I got the video of Trump saying it. Vigramas Swami, Vice President of the United States. I don't know if that would be a good spot for him. I'd much rather see him in a leadership role like Secretary of State or... hey, listen, put him as Secretary of Finance, if there is one, or Secretary of Defense. Right? He's an anti-war guy. Put him somewhere. Secretary of State for Vigramas Swami. Yes. Supreme Court Justice Vivek. So Vivek Ramaswamy's there. The bigger, in my view, Vivek Ramaswamy's big, but. What about Jamie Dimon? Jamie Dimon, one of the most lucrative, one of the most listened to, one of the most influential men on earth in terms of Wall Street, in terms of money. He's the CEO for JP Morgan. When Jamie Dimon speaks, everybody stops and listens. And what do you know? Even Jamie Dimon, Jew from New York, liberal bloc New York Jew, is saying Trump was right about almost everything. And that the Democrats, finally someone's saying it, the Democrats are someone important saying it. I've been saying it for 2 years. Jamie Dimon points out that the Democrats, their whole strategy is to attack more than half of the country. Anybody who is MAGA is seen as deplorable and unworthy of anything American, right? And Jamie Dimon points it out. Jamie Dimon has taken bus trips across the United States. He listens. He's a smart guy. And he says, I don't know what you're talking about, man, but, categorizing more than half the country as deplorable is not a good strategy to run a country, right? They got to stop that. Jamie Dimon is also on the record saying that without a border, now this is new, right? This is new coming out of Wall Street. Without a border, we have no country. He said, finally, California and New York realize it. Immigrants piling into California and New York are creating a disbalance there, and now people are finally fucking complaining, right? So. Is Trump right about immigration being the number one issue on people's minds? I think he is, yeah. Is Trump right about abortion, the right to abortion? Is he on the right side of the argument? I think he is. You had Elizabeth Warren. There's a clip up of Elizabeth Warren saying how bad Trump was for the abortion argument by appointing Supreme Court justices who flipped Roe v. Wade. I don't know. I don't see it as a bad thing. I think it's what America wanted. It's what the legal system needed. Because, again, Roe v. Wade was a flawed law. If you want to make abortion illegal or legal, if you want to make abortion legal, you have to have, a legitimate argument as to why. You might be able to do it now because, again, the United States has existed now for the past 50 years with abortion in place. So there is precedence for the American people to want abortion and to do it successfully, right? So if you wanted to try the legalization of abortion again, you need to get a lower court ruling that says it's illegal, and then have the Supreme Court flip it. Is that in the cards? Is that possible going forward? I think it is. Legally, you now have precedence. The other part of Roe v. Wade, of course, is that the women argued that they somehow, were not privy to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness because of the baby. And that argument is frivolous at best. Where do you point to it? So anyway, Trump. The point of all this is that Trump is surging. America is with Trump. Trump is, again, a master at figuring out what people, where people are in the center of the country, right? And he's right that most people they're not extreme right. Most of America is center right, right? It's in the middle of the argument, but just a little further right when it comes to abortion, when it comes to immigration, when it comes to other things. Right? There's the perimeter of these extremes, the extreme right, extreme left, only represent maybe 5 to 10% of the population. The other 90 to 95% are slightly left and slightly right, center left, center right. There's very few people who can claim that they are center. Right? To be completely center would be to speak without any opinion, any bias whatsoever. I try to do it. I really do. I try to say it, but again, I'm a flawed human, just like everybody else. I do see what I see. But this notion that the Democrats' argument that the entire country is extreme right is far, far inaccurate. They're center right, slightly right of the center. I think the left is a little further left, center left. The majority of Democrats are further center left and extreme left. I think you have more extremists on the left side. So anyway, happy birthday to Vinnie. Happy birthday to Vinnie. Vinnie D. Martini in the chat. Today's Vinnie's birthday. Give Vinnie a round of applause. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Vinnie D. Martini. Welcome, everybody in the chat. Cas Philly Camden here. Vinnie D. Martini, our trusted wrench, is having his birthday today. Mad Cow Mark in the house. Who else is here? Weevil Girl is here. Jim Gerard is here. Cas Philly Camden. Spirit Child. Sickle Fritz 896. Also here. Champs. And everybody else is lurking. Again, Vinnie, today's Vinnie's day. Vinnie D. Martini's birthday party. And so that's Jamie Dimon, if you don't know who he is. Extremely influential guy, smart guy. Again, New York Jew, super rich, super smart in terms of Wall Street. You talk about staying power. Right? Jamie Dimon has been on the top of Wall Street's blaze for 30 years. Right? Very smart guy. So we're gonna look at the endorsement that he gave Trump. He's saying he got everything right. In my view, that is an endorsement. That is an endorsement. When one of the top corporate CEOs, throws kudos to one of the two contendants, candidates, Biden, Trump. I call that an endorsement. So I got a website every morning at 9 a.m. We're going to do this. We're going to keep doing it all the way into the November season. We are in an election season here in America. The New Hampshire primaries are Tuesday. We've already seen Iowa. Iowa has spoken and has spoken very loudly in favor of Donald J. Trump with a 50% margin of a win there. In New Hampshire, it's the first primary. Iowa is a caucus. It's a little different. Still people voting. In New Hampshire, we have the primary first. And it looks like Nikki Haley is kind of, according to the polls, 34%. That's pretty high. Trump is attacking her now. Trump put out a couple of hit pieces on Hillary on Nikki Haley, comparing her to Hillary Clinton. There's a photo, a morphed photo of Nikki Haley and Hillary Clinton. I'll put that up. Really, really interesting stuff. So Trump on the warpath, trying to smash Nikki Haley down to size. And again, if Trump is, we'll look at the polls. If Trump is 14 points ahead of everybody else, I would make it more like 20%. Because again, Trump is outperforming the polls, as we saw in Iowa. Why? Because of this notion that somehow everybody who votes for Trump is a MAGA deplorable and unworthy of respect, and maybe even subject to violence and employment termination and or legal consequences for your actions. To be, we have to stop you somehow. So that's the mindset of Democrats. Instead of worrying about the fucking new virus that they're whipping together in Beijing with a 100% kill rate that we talked about yesterday, instead of worrying about stuff like that, they think that Trump is the Antichrist that's gonna end their life as they know it, right? So anyway, every morning 9 a.m. we're here Monday through Thursday. Today's Thursday, so I'll be beginning my 3-day weekend. Lazy me, right? And so, yeah, I have this website every morning at 9 a.m. We're here, we're live in front of a live studio audience. These fine people to my screen right, to your screen right, excuse me, to my screen. Yeah, it's my screen right, too. I'm looking at the same screen as you. We're here every morning. If you missed the live broadcast, if you want to be part of the live broadcast, if you want to be in the stream, all you got to do is show up at 9 a.m. on YouTube, and you're in. It's like members only, right? And if you're just watching on all the social media platforms, we're on Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Facebook, Twitter, Getter, Truth Social. We're everywhere. Right? Everywhere. I got a link. Somewhere. If you want to contribute to the program and you want to see this message escalate, PayPal, Patreon. And also Zelle, the great Zelle, bank transfer Zelle. If you want to send a couple of $100,000 to Conte to get him motivated again, right? Fucking, there's nothing like a big deposit in one's account that makes them excited, right? Money's need money, right? So let's start here. Before we start chopping people up, let's talk about something else, a spiritual thing. If you don't think, excuse me, I'll start again. Make sure the brain is in gear before you do it. If you think the kingdom of God is just an idea, right? God, what is God? God is a touchy subject for people, but you are God. God is what you see is a reflection of you, which is God. Right? You're your own universe. God is within. Right? You make your own paradise within. Right? That's just the way it works, and then you spread it to others. Right? So God is everything. God is nothing. So if you think the kingdom of God is just an idea, just a fairy tale, reconsider. If you think enlightenment is something abstract, that nirvana is something you might experience after you die, you are wrong. For those of us who practice, the kingdom of God is there, available right here and right now. The great Thich Nhat Hanh. I like to put that up. It's like a reminder. The morning, our ancestors, great meditators of the past, they used the morning star as an indicator of time. The Buddha said when he saw the morning star, he knew that he was enlightened, and that he simultaneously enlightened all of humanity as a result of seeing it. Right? That's not abstract. That's actually real. That's what he experienced at that moment when he saw it, and that's what he communicated to others. It's not. He solved the great mystery. Am I enlightened? Have I seen? Have I freed myself of the suffering? And upon seeing the morning star, he confirms it. Right? Each time he sees it in a 24-hour cycle, if it's there, he sees it. I'm enlightened. So there's all kinds of indicators, and I love this kind of stuff, man. So anyway, so let's look at the polls. There's new polls out for New Hampshire. That election is going to take place on the 23rd, next Tuesday. Today is Thursday. About 5 days away, New Hampshire is going to speak, and hopefully we'll get results really quickly. St. Anselm has Trump by 14. Boston Globe, Trump by 14. In New Hampshire, where else? Yesterday, New Hampshire polls. Do we see any New Hampshire polls? Oregon. No, those are the only two we have, right? So the two we have is Trump 14, Trump 14. Boston Globe, Suffolk. So there's slightly less polling. But the thing here, and I'm sure this is what Trump is looking at, is that Nikki Haley has 38% and 36% in the polling for the New Hampshire Republican presidential primary. DeSantis fell to 6. Ramaswamy is out. Chris Christie out. So who's going to get Ramaswamy's numbers? I would say Trump gets it, of course. People were voting for Ramaswamy because he was the younger version of Trump. So I think it's fair to say that Ramaswamy's numbers are going to flip to Trump. Chris Christie, who cares? He's a loser anyway. And I don't know. I just don't see how Nikki Haley's polling at 38. I think that's very, very wishful thinking. I think that the majority is Trump. Trump wins New Hampshire. 14. I'll put Trump at around 25. 25. He was 50 in Iowa. I put him at about 25 in New Hampshire. And going forward is a landslide. After this, DeSantis drops out. After New Hampshire, DeSantis will drop out. Nikki Haley, if she doesn't get creamed, she'll be out as well. She might hang on. She's like a hangnail. She'll hang on like Hillary Clinton. That's why Trump paired her to Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton refused to capitulate, refused to quit, and humiliated herself while she was doing it. Hillary Clinton did. So here he is. There's the image. So there's coming out of the Trump camp. It does look like Hillary Clinton, but upon further investigation, it's Nikki Haley, right? Fucking talk about a morph photo, man. It's a great photo, man. So there's Nikki, and there's the image. He put it out like this with the Hillary Clinton, the arrow facing right, whatever the fuck she was talking about there, and it does look like her. It does look like that's Nikki Clinton or Hillary Haley. Hillary Haley. So Trump is hitting her hard because of the. So does this rule out Nikki Haley for vice presidential pick? Not really. It doesn't. This is just by next week you'll forget all about this. When Trump when Trump destroys Nikki Haley in the election, and Ron DeSantis drops out and joins Trump, and Vivek Ramaswamy's on the ground screaming for Trump, and everybody else is now coalescing around Trump. Nikki Haley's dead. She's all by herself, and she'll fold. She'll fold like the cheap pants suit that she's wearing. Right? No, she's wearing a dress. Anyway, so that's the images Trump is pumping out. That's what he wants you to see. Nikki came in a distant third. He's got a funny one, too. He's calling her Nikki Nimrata. Right. If you don't know what that is, that's in New York. I don't know if you know what that is, but calling someone a Nimrod. What is? Let's define it. Let's define Nimrod. What is a Nimrod? It's a slur. Nimrod slur. It's a slur. It's an insult, right? Right. To call someone a Nimrod is insulting, in some way, right? So that's what Trump is doing here. He's calling her a Nimrata. Why? Because her name is actually Nimrata. Nimrata is her middle name. All right, so Trump's got a name for Haley. The longer you hang on, you get a name, right? Trump has named Nikki Haley Nikki Nimrata Haley. Right? Her full name is Nimrata Nikki Haley. So Trump's having some fun over there with her. So here's a great endorsement. Here we go, man. Vigramas Swami. Here we go. You knew it was coming, but man, was Vigramas Swami full-throated when he endorsed Trump.
But I was a friend of his, and we got along, and he was saying he's a great president. I kept saying, why is he running? He keeps calling me a great president.
Yeah.
But he's a fantastic guy, a very smart guy. He's got some tremendous ideas, and he's young, and he's got some young ideas, too, and that's a good thing. So he has a big, beautiful, bright future ahead. Vivek Ramaswamy. Come on up, Vivek.
Can't make it up. And there you go. There you go. Done deal. The great Vivek Ramaswamy in the Trump camp. Amazing.
Let's do this, guys.
Let's do it.
It's good to see you. It's good to be back to New Hampshire. We miss you guys. We're going to make this happen, and you guys know this well. You know this man. You know why we're here. Patriots across this state. We are in the middle of a war in this country. That's what this is.
Yep.
It's not a war between black and white. It's not between Democrat and Republican, even in a deeper sense. It's between the permanent state and the everyday citizen. Between those of us who love the United States of America and a fringe minority who hates this country and what we stand for.
Isn't it amazing how Vivek Ramaswamy's message, he's not changing his message to suit Trump. Vivek Ramaswamy's on the podium giving his message, and it's identical, echoing, amplifying Trump. Fascinating.
And right now we need a commander-in-chief who will lead us to victory in this war.
Yep.
That's what we need in this country.
Show me anything on the Democratic side of the aisle that is even closely as exciting and interesting as this part of the election, the Republican Party. There's nothing on the Democratic side. You just got an old dead guy and a lot of fear and a lot of anger and a lot of hallucination about almost everything. But on the Republican side, they're really, really clear. It's clear. The air is clearing on the Republican side.
You got to know you're in a war to win one. You can't win one if you're asleep at the switch, have your head stuck in the sand, like most.
Spirit Child says he will sell out for a cabinet position. I don't think so. I don't think that's what it was about. I think Vivek Ramaswamy is a smart guy. He knew that based on the Iowa caucus that he had no chance. And so the smart business thing to do is support Trump before Trump starts to smear you. Join him. I don't think there was any deal made. It doesn't really work like that. It doesn't work like that. Vivek Ramaswamy came out for Trump. He called him up, and Trump accepted his involvement because because it's Vivek Ramaswamy. He's a smart young guy, right? And you could use a guy like him. Right? Period. That's it. Does Vivek Ramaswamy get a cabinet position out of this? Hopefully. Why is that a bad thing? Why is that? I mean, Vivek Ramaswamy for Secretary of State. Why not? Right? Why not?
Republicans. And I think that's going to require somebody who isn't bought and paid for, a businessman, not a politician. Anybody heard of that? And that's why I was in this race, but I'll tell you, the people of Iowa spoke loud and clear last night.
They
and I'm a
did.
big believer that we, the people, create a government that is accountable to us, not the other way around. That we, the people, choose who leads this country. And so we heard we, the people, last night, and that is why last evening I met my friend here, we met in person, and I told him that I would endorse Donald J. Trump for President of the United States and do everything in my power to lead us to victory in this war. It is a 1776 moment right now. That's where we live right now. And you want to know, what does it mean to be a Republican today? It means we believe in the ideals of 1776. Ideals like freedom and merit and the pursuit of excellence. That you get ahead in this country, not on the color of your skin, but on the content of your character and your contributions. End affirmative action. End DEI. We are done with the nonsense. Send it back home.
Amazing, right? Amazing platform, right? Can Trump get all that done? Is he going to end affirmative action? Well, he tried. He really did.
It means you believe in the rule of law. And I say this as the kid of legal immigrants to this country. That means your first act of entering this country cannot break the law, and that is why we need to use our military to secure our own southern border in this country.
Use the military to secure the border. Why not? What else are they doing? Sitting around, get them out of fucking blowing people up abroad, right? Get them out of Russia, get them out of Ukraine, get them out of wherever, Israel. Put them on the border of Mexico, right? And secure the border once and for all, right? See if they crawl through Canada.
That's what it means to stand for the rule of law in the United States of America. It means the people we elect to run the government needs to be the ones who actually run the government, not the shadow government in the deep state that runs the show today.
Wow, invoking the deep state, Vivek Ramaswamy is on the Trump platform.
This man is going to get in there this time around and actually shut down that deep state. Not messing around this time anymore. That's how we win this war in this country.
Let's go to the hit. Let's go. Oops.
You do what God called you to do.
I love this commercial.
You show up. You put one foot in front of the other. You have no idea what God has calling for you.
Nope.
You have no idea where you're going, and in some cases, you don't know why. But He needs you. He needs me. He needs all of us.
Yep.
It is God that is the answer.
We are calling all true American patriots to
It's a
take.
fucking great commercial. That's a great commercial. Let's get to the hug and kiss. Hugging. Here we go. So here's Vivek Ramaswamy and the photo op. Here we go. Bang! Give me a kiss, my brother, my Indian brother. I love you, man. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'd suck your dick, but I don't go there. I got a wife. There we go, man.
Thank you.
Vivek Ramaswamy. Oh my God, the great Vivek Ramaswamy. We know where he stands now. Trump promises a future position. Let's listen.
How was that? Pretty good, right? That was pretty good, and he's a fantastic guy, and he's really he's got something that's very special because he started off with a Zippo, and he ended up very strong. He did a great job. I was actually surprised when he called because he was doing well, and it's an honor to have his endorsement. He's going to be working with us, and he'll be working with us for a long time.
He'll be working with us for a long time, says Trump. Is that the promise right there? Did Trump just make a promise to Vivek Ramaswamy?
And it's an honor to have his endorsement. He's going to be working with us, and he'll be working with us for a long time.
For a long time. Thank you, Vivek Ramaswamy. Right. So let's dive into this story here. We'll look at the markets before we talk about Jamie Dimon. Boom, we're open. Markets are open, and what have they said? NASDAQ up 136. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 94. NASDAQ is up 148. It just flickered. I don't know why. NASDAQ up 148. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 50. I don't know what's going on with Yahoo Finance today. This shit's got a mind of its own. Look at the big board. Rivian down, getting crushed to 1657. Hopefully that'll turn around. The NASDAQ ETF TQQQ up $1.50, 3% as the NASDAQ surges. The NASDAQ is surging right now, 144. NVIDIA, what's leading the charge? Of course, NVIDIA up 10 to $571 a share. That's the Nancy and Paul Pelosi stock that they bought at 100. They bought calls on that when it was 100. They got rich on NVIDIA. That's why you don't hear the Pelosi's yakking anymore. They're over there in Italy spending all their money. Facebook, Meta, formerly Facebook, up $3.88. Amazon up 88 cents. Apple surging up $4 a share to 186. Tesla up 20 cents, finally turning green again. Tesla was getting beat down. I don't know what that's all about. So mixed open on Wall Street. Technology up, everything else kind of down slightly. Boeing up another $2 a share. Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, the war stocks mixed. Lockheed Martin down $1.50. The holy vaccine stocks keep getting hit. Down. Pfizer down another 22 cents. Johnson & Johnson down 30. Moderna down $1.77. Dump them vaccine stocks, man. They're not going to do it anymore unless they get they get approval to release the 100% killer virus, right? Because they got that one now. They got that one in the pocket, right? They got a virus now. We talked about it yesterday on the program. 100% kill rate. Oh my God, they did it. Right? See, if you didn't want the vaccine before, when 100% of the people that get this, the virus gets in them and kills them, you'll be crying for that vaccine, man. You'll be fucking on your knees begging, please, give me the holiest vaccine. So let's listen to Jamie Dimon, marcusconte reporting. Jamie Dimon has endorsed Donald Trump. Upon listening to what he's saying, it is a full-throated Wall Street endorsement. Jamie Dimon is saying Trump was right about almost everything. Listen to what he says.
It's a mistake to assume that everything's hunky-dory. And, and when stock markets are up, it's kind of like this little drug we all feel. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just great. But remember, we've had so much fiscal and monetary stimulation. So I'm a little more on the cautious side, that we are facing a lot of things in 24 or 25. And we mentioned Ukraine, the terrorist activity in Israel, the Red Sea, quantitative tightening, which I still question if we understand exactly how that works. I don't think we do. How QE actually worked, what the effect of negative, zero rates was for all this time.
He's actually rather down on 2024, 2025. He's saying that we're not out of the woods. It's like, why? Wall Street needs a reason. Why are things going to go up? Just simple expansion? Jamie Dimon says no. Remember, when the Democrats took power in 2020, it was like leftist utopia. The pandemic, they shut everything down. They gave everybody free money. Everybody got a vacation when the Democrats, when Biden took office, right? And that eventually faded. That utopia is fading. Open up the borders, let everybody in, right? Abortions and violence and let's make shoplifting legal, right? The left went off the rails, right? And quantitative, tightening is now necessary to rein in all that excess spending. And so Jamie Dimon is saying that's not over. That didn't go away yet, right? That was a lot of stimulus that got pumped into the economy. It's still there. That's what he's saying.
Now, obviously, the politics, and then the Ukrainian war is affecting oil, gas, food, migration. So
he's going to talk about Trump in a second. Watch.
Have all these very powerful forces that are going to be affecting us in 24 and 25. So if I was the government, I would be preparing for what I'm going to do about that, assuming things aren't good. And I just also want to point out, I wish the Democrats would think a little more carefully when they talk about MAGA. You know, and if you travel this country, you know, and the country's unbelievable. We took our bus trip this year, and Leslie Picker was on Spokane and Boise and Bozeman. People are growing. They're hungry to grow. They're innovating. It's everywhere. It's not just Silicon Valley. So we've got this great hand. But when people say MAGA, they're actually looking at people voting for Trump, and they think they're voting, and they're basically scapegoating them, that you are like him. But I don't think they're voting for Trump because of his family values. Now, if you look, just take a step back, be honest. He was kind of right about NATO.
Yep.
Kind of right about immigration.
2.
He grew the economy quite well.
3.
China virus.
Tax reform.
China virus.
He was right about some of China. I don't like what he did.
No, I said China virus.
Yeah, I understand. He may have been right. And I don't like how he said things about Mexico. I don't like, but he wasn't wrong about some of these critical issues. And that's why they're voting for him.
Right.
And I think people should be a little more respectful of our fellow citizens. And
Respectful of our fellow citizens, says Jamie Dimon. Stop insulting half of the population for supporting Trump. Stop calling them criminals. Stop not trying to, but throwing them in prison for showing up at a rally on January 6th, for example.
You guys have people up here. You should always ask the why. Not like it's a binary thing. You're supporting Trump, you're not supporting Trump. Why are you supporting Trump?
It's hard to hate 75 million of your fellow Americans.
I agree.
You hate. That's right. The Democrats hate 75 million of their fellow citizens. That's what the Democrats. That's the line of attack. The Democrats just vilify anyone who's MAGA. And what is MAGA? As I said earlier, the MAGA extreme is only it's less than 5% of the right. Right, probably more like 3%, right? 95% of people are center left and center right. In that 5, maybe 10% are extreme right, extreme left. So for the Democrats to vilify and or call anybody who votes for Trump an extremist is ridiculous, is insulting, is dangerous to democracy, right? It's dangerous to those people. Because you're calling them extremists, terrorists. A guy should, if I wear this hat, right, into a fucking, into some office building downtown, right, I'm gonna have a problem, right? Not because I'm wearing a hat, but because I'm wearing this hat. If I walk through a mall somewhere, it's not because I'm wearing a baseball hat. It's because I'm wearing this baseball hat that triggers the Trump derangement syndrome, this idea that somehow half the country is extreme, right? That's what Jamie Dimon is saying. Finally, somebody's saying it outside of this reporter.
And, the Democrats have done a pretty good job with the deplorables, hugging onto their Bibles and their beer and their guns. I mean, really?
Really?
Could we just stop that stuff and actually grow up and treat other people with respect and listen to them a little bit? And I do think the economy will affect, and I think this negative talk about MAGA is going to hurt Biden's electoral campaign.
I just want to ask you back to the $34 trillion that we got, because it seemed like when rates were going up and we thought the Fed was going to keep going.
All right, so that's one statement. Here's Jamie Dimon. Again, this is unprecedented. I never heard a Wall Street guy go full throat like this about immigration. Listen to what Jamie Dimon, one of the most influential, wealthy guys on Wall Street, everybody listens to him. Listen to what he says about immigration. Not what some jerk off down the block says, but listen to Jamie Dimon.
We have to control the borders.
Yes.
We need more merit-based immigration. We need more seasonal immigration. We need more. We need DACA have a place here. We need a path to citizenship. If you do not control the borders, you are going to destroy our country. And so I think the people who think that somehow this is okay. So now they're sending the migrants into New York and stuff like that. So all of my super liberal friends, now they realize what a problem is.
Yeah.
Did it have to be that? That we realize it. So we want to have a big heart for the world, but we have to control the borders.
Jamie, do you view Putin's intention?
All right. So that's Jamie Dimon. Jamie Dimon, the great CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase, controls wealth. Like you wouldn't believe, firmly in the pocket for Trump, right? Saying it's Trump. It's little Trump all the time, right? So that's really all I got today. Thank you all for joining me. Happy birthday, Vinnie DiMartini. one of our favorite people on this program is here, and it's his birthday today. And so I don't know, man. It's an interesting election. It's going to be an interesting election, and we just hope that it stays civil. Right? It stays civil. Right? We don't want to see people fighting in the street. We don't want to see, elections erupting into violence over nothing. If you want, Roe v. Wade back in place, get a legitimate law. Get it passed. Do it the right way, right? If you want to come into this country, do it, quote, legally, right? Do it, quote, legally. What is legal anyway? What is that? We don't even know what that means anymore. What is legal? Look what they're doing to Trump. Everything Trump does is illegal, right? So, anyway, thank you all for joining me. We'll see you next week. I'll see you on Monday. Marcus Conte reporting.